So we are back, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about knowing the tarot, getting to know your deck. Before the tarot can be accurately utilized, you must get to know your cards. I know these cards best. This deck is the one I use. So I'm going to show you a little bit more of that particular deck. You must have a deck to get to know it. You have to pick a deck. It might be a deck that you find beautiful to behold, or it might be a deck that seems to resonate with you. Perhaps you feel the strongest connection to the deck your best friend gave you 10 years ago. Maybe it's the one you found at the bookstore yesterday. It doesn't really matter how long you've had it, as long as you enjoy it. It doesn't matter who gave it to you. It is fine to buy your own deck. I occasionally have somebody ask if they have to be gifted a deck. You do not. You can go ahead and buy your own deck. Now, the most popular deck in the world is the Rider-Waite, the one at the top that we've been flipping through in some of the other videos. Rider-Waite has a lot of imagery, and most modern books on the subject of tarot are written to reflect the Rider-Waite symbolism. It is also rich in imagery, and they're very beautiful cards. Many modern decks, though, are based on these same images. So if you look at cards, I'll see if I can find the Fool here. I'm sure I can because I just saw him a few minutes ago. But if you look at the cards from the Rider-Waite deck and compare them to a deck based on Rider-Waite, sorry for jostling the camera, you will see a lot of similarities. So I have the Rider-Waite Fool, and I have the Fool from my favorite deck. See a lot of similar images. Okay, you got a dog, you got a car, you got a knapsack there, you got the flowers happening. The images are very similar indeed. So because they're similar, if you don't love the Rider-Waite style, you can find a deck that has the same imagery, but maybe is more in an art style that you like. That's fine too. So tarot has been used for many different purposes over the years. Many different ideas have emerged concerning what the tarot can and cannot do. Tarot cards do not predict the future, at least not in the classic sense anyway. The only way the tarot can predict the future is to give a most likely response. However, the art of knowing a thing often changes that thing. Once a most likely future is known, especially if it's a negative one, it is highly possible that this event has already been altered simply by your knowledge of it. Occasionally, someone will attempt to use the tarot to truly predict the future. These attempts may use the minor arcana, the major arcana, or both. However, since tarot cannot predict the future, the only answer they really give is the most probable outcome based on the present situation. Change that situation, you change the future. Tarot cards are a tool that can be consulted when the situation warrants it. They are best used to reveal the qualities of a specific moment when the individual has a particular problem or situation in mind. Oops, sorry. Gotta reach around that. Tarot cards, when used in a spread, can give a deeper meaning to events already in motion and outline the possible outcomes of those events. Instead of predicting the future, the tarot reveals the moment. Every choice that is made affects the future. Every moment is a consequence of the decisions that have been made in the past. Therefore, the future will spring from the present moment and the choices that are made. It is in the making of these choices that the tarot has its most effective use. The tarot can give hints and suggestions as to how to cope with the moment in an attempt to shape the future. It is important to remember that the tarot reflects your innermost thoughts. It is for this reason that you must have a clear and focused mind, thinking only of the situation at hand. If you have a chaotic mind, the cards are only going to give you chaos. So calm down, take a breath, then start your reading. Tarot cards are also a tool by which the elements of a situation can be revealed. They can show you how you got to where you are and perhaps even a possible way out of the present situation. Typically, tarot cards tend to express a time period of around 6 months. So they do often give valuable information and advice for solution to current problems. I can't reach. However, if you're hoping to discover information about your life as it will be 20 years from now, you should choose another medium, as the tarot really is not going to give you the answers you seek there. Tarot cards cannot predict the future, no matter what anyone claims. They do not give a concrete account of fixed events that have yet to happen, and they do not reveal anyone's fate or destiny. The tarot cannot help someone pass an exam, get a promotion at work, or any other real milestones in your life. You have to make those choices yourself. That's just the way it is. The tarot cannot, and definitely do not, guarantee any outcome or situation. It would be folly to think that they actually can do that. They can't. They are a divinatory tool, and a powerful one, but they should not and cannot be the only tool that you use in determining the nature of a situation or how to react to it. The tarot does not control anyone's destiny. You make your own fate, even when you think you don't. Fate is really just a subconscious thing, at least as far as the tarot is concerned. The tarot can help you connect to that subconscious. It can help you take control of your own life. It can help you. It can't do it for you. Tarot cards are an elusive and mysterious thing. They can be used as a guide, but absolutely should not be a medium to plan your future. You have to decide. Don't blame the cards. You make the decision. The tarot should be taken seriously because to tarot readers and enthusiasts, they are not a toy or a game. They are not supernatural, but are sacred images designed to connect with the innermost patterns of human thought and emotion. As such, they and their spreads merit a certain amount of respect. Tarot cards are a part of a symbolic world, so any individual who wishes to read the tarot, including you, should develop a respect for the symbols that they embody. This attitude of respect does not just appear out of nowhere, and it cannot be willed into existence. It must instead be cultivated over time. The intelligent tarot card reader strives to develop some kind of relationship with their cards, no matter what deck you're using. You need a relationship with them. You should realize that tarot are not simply amusing pieces of paper with pretty little drawings. If you realize that and you have respect for your cards, you're not going to just stick them on a shelf and let them gather dust. You're going to use them. You're going to respect them. You'll be using them as a tool, not a toy. Though there's nothing wrong with playing a game here and there. Since most tarot readers do have a great deal of respect for their cards, they tend to take special care with them. In general, it's best to wrap a deck of tarot cards in a special cloth. I use special cloths like the one that they're currently sitting on. It's actually a zodiac cloth. It's usually wrapped around this deck over here. Each deck has its own cloth that I use. Traditionally, those cloths would be silk. Well, you don't have to use silk. I don't. The cloth underneath all this is cotton. It doesn't really matter that much. Silk is traditional. It is not required. But if you're new to using the tarot, the cloth helps to develop a relationship with your cards. For those who are more seasoned, the ritual of unwrapping the cards before reading can be a powerful experience. Turn this around. No, this way. Sorry. Traditionally, tarot cards are kept wrapped in black silk, but like I said, you don't need silk. Black is good though. Get yourself something black to wrap them in. The idea is that black is a neutral color so it can neutralize any energies, positive or negative, that may come into contact with your cards. Whether or not this is true is a matter of debate, but it doesn't hurt. So give it a shot. Regardless of the truth of the black silk tradition, it's important to develop a ritual of sorts when it comes to the storage of your tarot cards. The unwrapping and wrapping of the cards before and after a reading in their own special cloth can become a point of concentration. This ritual helps to cement a relationship with your cards. There are those who store their major and minor arcana separately. I don't. Mine are all integrated into each other because I use them at the same time. I do not separate them. You can if you like, but you'll find you're just going to be shuffling them together a lot. So if you want to store them separately, feel free. It's certainly not a requirement. When the cards are stored, you should have somewhere safe to put them. Okay? I'm not saying you need a special box or anything like that, but you don't want them laying around where they can get damaged. You don't want to leave them in direct sunlight because it'll help prevent fading. You don't want to leave them somewhere that's damp because they might stick together. So if you have a deck that's getting really sticky, like you can't separate the cards, these ones aren't like that. But let's say you can't separate your cards, you're probably leaving them in a space that's too damp. Maybe add a little damp rid or something to dehumidify the cabinet you're keeping them in. You do not want mold and mildew on your cards. It'll destroy them faster than almost anything. So treat them with respect. Where you put them has something to do with that respect. Sorry I keep jostling the camera. I'm sorry. So I don't like putting mine at the back of a drawer or something like that. That doesn't feel very respectful to me. So I have a cabinet. Mine are wrapped in their cloths and stored in their cabinets. They all have their special little spot. Even though the decks I use most are obviously at the front, all my cards have a special spot. They always go back in that spot when not in use. Some tarot readers create an altar to place their tarot cards upon. It's not necessary, but you can if you like to. Candles, incense, or symbols you consider important are some of the options you might want to consider for a tarot altar. You can also just store your tarot cards on your regular altar. That's okay too. Whatever you like. The proper attitude and treatment of your tarot is important. It's a symbol of the unique and valued place the cards hold. It also reinforces the importance of their images and symbols. So treat them with a little bit of respect and you'll get a better response from them. So, I'm not sure if I showed you that one or if it was upside down the whole time, because I wasn't really looking. I was looking at these cards over here. But treat your cards with some respect. Store them in a dark, dry place. Don't leave them there to just gather dust. Take them out, shuffle them, study the images, even if you haven't learned what each card means yet. So spend time with your cards. They'll serve you well. Back in a jiffy.